when it's not working, many times it's because of misidentified incident. The cognition isn't really representative of the neural network. And so typically I'll ask with a clinician who is struggling with a client that's not doing EMDR, it's not working, I'm going to always ask, well, number one, what are the incidents you're working on? And then secondly, though, what's the core belief system, the neural network? Because sometimes processing gets blocked because this adaptive system that we activate recognizes the direction that the client wants to go isn't adaptive. What I mean by that is an example. I saw a video once where actually a client dissociated, and the incident was being yelled at by a teacher in high school, and the negative thought, the cognition that they chose was, I cannot speak up for myself. And the positive was, I can speak up for myself. And then they began doing unrestricted processing. And so this incident with the coach suddenly went into a lot of very, very harsh criticism by parents. And the system locked up because I can speak up for myself wasn't valid. I can't speak up to the teacher, but even more so, should I have spoken up to one of my parents, then the abuse would have gotten worse. So that's a great example of the fact that the cognition wasn't really an adaptive direction. So I think once again, if we look at an approach that is more around core beliefs, which means what is it that it means to you that your coach is yelling at you and you can't speak up, then the client's going to say something like, well, I'm trapped, or I'm helpless, or I'm powerless. And then the adaptive system can be aligned with, I can only control what I can when I am trapped or powerless. And that would have allowed that client to process through, well, my not speaking up to my coach made perfect sense, as it would with not speaking up to my parents. So I think, again, what we really try to do to help facilitate processing is to spend a lot of time during treatment planning to understand what the core belief is. So we focus more on the cause and not specifically on an incident or the symptom. And I think that's probably the most empowering aspect, and it takes the most time to kind of organize. But once that's set up, then processing will kind of fall in place. So usually when processing blocks, to me, it's the mismatch of the target, the incident you picked, or also the mismatch of the cognition, the belief system. It really is a statement of self instead of, and their behavior instead of what it really means. So usually those are the first two steps that I work on. Now, the other thing is sometimes clients just don't like it. And I think sometimes EMDR clinicians think everybody ought to have a good experience with the EMDR. And I've had clients who just say, I just don't feel connected to you. I just want to talk about it. I want to process through it. And I think that's fine. And especially if we've done our kind of treatment planning of outlining incidences within this neural network, whether we use EMDR to kind of help make that linkage and help that growth to occur, or whether we use another form of psychotherapy, the roadmap is already there. And just the modality that we use, it gives us a lot of options. So I don't think there's times when clinicians say, what have I done wrong, or will it work all the time? And it's just like, well, some clients don't like it. It doesn't fit what they want, and maybe they need more attachment, more connection, and that's okay too. So I think it all reflects back to really spending the time to develop the treatment plan around the core belief system, outlining that neural network map, all of which is done in information gathering, so that when we're ready to actually get into the processing aspects that are most noted for EMDR, we both understand the clinical landscape. We've agreed on what we're going to work on. We've agreed on how much is going to come up while we work on it. And so there's a lot of empowerment and control, and it encourages and increases the likelihood of things working.